Hi everyone, in this review I will be taking a closer look at the two LED lights with some unique features and super affordable price tags. And later in the video I'll also show you how I use these two to create interesting images like this. In the oversaturated LED market that we now have, it's often difficult to choose what to go with. A lot of us base our decision on what we get for our money, and these Pergear lights cost under $40 each, so let's find out what we actually get for this rather affordable price. I'll start with the A168 model, which has 168 LED lights, as you can probably tell from the name. All of them are daylight balanced with a CRI rating of 90+, which is nothing to write home about, but not bad at all for the price. This light comes with 3 diffusion filters, the clear one which simply diffuses the light, the orange one which takes it to 3200 Kelvin, and then there is a blue gel which I think takes it to around 7400 Kelvin. It's not usual that you get a blue gel with a daylight balanced light, but it can be useful when all of your lights are already daylight balanced and you still want to make one light colder. At the back of the light we have the on-off switch that doubles as the dimmer switch. We also have the power indicator on the side there, which can be useful. Moving on to the A216 model, which looks exactly the same as the 168, exactly the same size, but it actually packs in 216 LEDs. The reason for that is that this light is a bicolor light, so it has both the daylight balanced and tungsten balanced LEDs, and even though it has more LEDs inside, it actually produces a bit less power than 168, because only half of these LEDs will work at full power at any one time. Let me show you exactly what I mean. If I switch the light on, only half of the LEDs light up, and at the moment all of those are daylight balanced ones. As you can see, I'm getting white light onto my face, and as I rotate the switch at the back, the tungsten ones slowly come on and the daylight ones fade out until I'm left only with the tungsten LED lights. Again, just half of them are now on, and as you can see, I'm getting the warm light. Being able to go from tungsten to daylight setting so quickly is definitely worth the sacrifice of the power that you get with it, but the most useful part of the switch to me is actually ability to go between the two settings, because I'm often shooting in mixed lighting conditions where some of the light is coming from outside and I have tungsten light sources inside the room, so my white balance is neither daylight or tungsten balanced, and having a light that can go in between sometimes is the only way to create natural looking results. This light also comes with a diffusion filter which stays on the light at most times unless I'm bouncing the light into the wall or reflector. I personally prefer to have a softer light source, and with modern cameras that are so great with light sensitivity, even with the diffuser on and only half of LEDs being on at any one time, this light can produce so much power that will completely destroy my current lighting setup. So here I have full power pointed at myself. Obviously the light is fairly close to me, but even if I put it to the back of the room, this can be my key light easily. All these features are great, but you can actually find them on many other LED lights as well. What's a bit more special about these two lights is the Airswitch, and that is essentially a motion sensor on top of LED light that is used to switch the light on and off instantly, just like so, by waving your hand over it. And you might ask, what the hell is this feature and what is that for? Why do you need something that is a bit gimmicky like that? And I'll tell you why I think it's a great feature and it works great for me. The first reason is that it saves battery life, because switching the light on and off is so effortless and instant that there is no excuse not to switch your light off when you don't need it, and if you suddenly need it really quickly, just a quick wave of the hand will switch the light on. The second reason is that you can set your brightness level to your desired level and then switch the light off. This is great for creative projects where you may have a lot of takes and maybe breaks, and every time you come back to your lighting setup you want your light to have exactly the same brightness. It's also good for situations where you might put your light into some inaccessible, high, awkward position and it's actually physically difficult to access the light from the back. If you had your brightness preset for your scene, you simply wave your hand over it and you can use your light, and as soon as you want to switch it off and save the battery, just wave over it again and it's off again. The third reason is that you can actually disable this feature if for some reason it's not convenient for you. For example, you might have to wave your hand over your light a lot, or you are wearing a cap and you've got your light under your cap a lot, so it will keep coming on and off. So for that reason it's possible to disable it. You simply hold your hand for 3 seconds, it will flash to tell you that it's locked into position, and now the light will not be switched off by you waving over it until you actually switch it off and on again at the back. Coming on to build quality, these lights are made fully out of plastic except for the hot shoe, which is understandable at $40. In fact, the build quality feels very much like the F&V Z96, a very popular light that costs much more. What I also like about the Pergear light is the battery release at the back, which is spring loaded. Very easy to switch the battery at the back. I also like that I have the power indication, don't have that with all of the lights. And it's nice that the hot shoe has the 1/4 thread on the bottom, so I can put this light on a light stand. Overall, for $40 or less, you can't really complain about the build quality of this light. It has plenty of features for the money, but what's the most important in any light is the actual light quality that it produces. So to make it less subjective, I decided to compare this light to my other 3 LED lights, and you can decide yourself which one you like the most. I think the closest competitor in terms of light accuracy to these two is the Z96, but that light costs twice as much, so definitely a nice pair of lights at bargain prices. Before I wrap up this review, I want to show you how I use these two lights to create nice looking pictures and videos that I often post on Instagram and use in my other reviews. I start with a dark room and simply put my lens against the white wall, which stays just out of the shot. I then take my A168 without diffusion to get the most power out of it and point it at the wall, moving it around until I find a spot where coating on the lens reflects the light from the wall in the most desirable way. At this point I will take a picture with my camera, or if I want to create an interesting clip featuring the lens, I will move the light across from one side to the other. And such setups work great for my intros as well as product shots. This kind of setup can be used with all sorts of objects and not just lenses. To make my lens shots more complete though, I then take my A216 and put it on a light stand level with the lens. I then play around with distance and power of the light to create a gentle feel that shows just enough of the lens from the side, but doesn't take away attention from the beautiful coating. And this is how I create beautiful images using just these two LED lights. I hope that you found this video useful, and I'll see you in one of my next ones.